Welcome to our meditation time. I would invite you wherever you are to find a spot that feels comfortable to the physical parts of you. And then as you begin to close your eyes or look down, let it be comfortable to the mental and the emotional parts of you as well. Just begin to block out the busyness of the day, block out any distractions that are going on around you in the house or just any sounds that you hear. Really bring your attention to this moment. And then as you do that, just start to notice your breath. It is such an amazing tool. It's such a powerful anchor. We just have to remind ourselves to notice it. So just pay attention to how deep it is, what the pace of it is, and how it makes you feel as you notice it. And then we're going to breathe with a little bit of intention together to start our time. Let's take a nice, slow breath in and a nice, slow breath out. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling together. Exhale to release. One more, in and out. And then I want to just pause for a second. Let's each just grow still in our space where we are and just notice, just in those few intentional collective breaths, how does everything feel? We're not looking for a magical answer or solution or perfection, just awareness. How does everything feel? And I want to frame our time by taking us back just a few steps. We spent a lot of our days over these last few meditations talking about these energy centers that exist within us. Energy centers that give us vibrancy within life, but that also give us a chance to ground, to reconnect to the things that we are passionate about, and to remind us of the strength that we have. And so we're going to continue this journey through the body, and we're going to pause on this energy center right in the center at our heart. This one has a lot of personal meaning for me. The Sanskrit word for this one is Anahata. And the next time we get together, we're going to talk about the sound that goes with it and the color and all those things that we've explored these last few sessions. But today, I want to just think about this term Anahata as the translation of that word, which basically means the bridge. We know that it is the heart energy. We know it's connected to our feelings, to our emotions, to who we are as emotional beings. But it also serves as a bridge. I actually named my yoga studio after Anahata for so many different reasons, because this idea of a bridge has such power. And so what I would ask for you to do for these first moment or so, just picture, just kind of scan through your mind's eye like you're going through a photo album. Picture all the bridges that you have encountered recently, over time. Bridges that you've driven over in your car, bridges maybe that you've walked across, bridges that have taken you across water or across rocky terrain. And just remember being on that bridge, leaving something and going toward something else. But then knowing that same bridge provides the access to go back to where you came from. And so as you're picturing these different bridges, I want to just kind of take you over a visualization. And some of this will connect to the ones that you're seeing in your memory and this photo album in your mind. Some might be a little new. But what we know about a bridge is that it connects two pieces of land that were otherwise separated. You know, you've got a part of a state like in New York, and you still have part of New York that you can only get to through a bridge, because these two pieces of land would otherwise be separated, but they were still part of the same thing, this one state. And so many of us have experienced that version of a bridge, two pieces of land, that if it weren't for this construction, those pieces would remain separated. There are also bridges throughout the world, and I've actually had the honor of being on one of those that connects two countries, two entities that operate separately, two countries that have their own government, their own language, their own currency, their own culture. And I remember the first time I drove across this bridge that connects Denmark to Sweden, and I thought, this is pretty amazing. Because I always thought of bridges as just connecting two pieces of land, but think about one that connects two countries, two cultures, two languages, two ways of being. Think about what power that structure holds. And what we know about bridges, they allow safe passage over terrain that would otherwise be impassable. Most often it's across water that we don't have a way to travel over. Sometimes you look down at a bridge and there's not a lot of water, but there's rocks and there's just things that we would never cross over in our car or by foot. I remember crossing over footbridges in the Northeast at one point and thinking, there's this gully, and at different times of the year with different weather, it would make this spot impassable if we didn't have a bridge. So what these bridges do is they create connections, which then in turn creates possibilities. So just see them for just another couple of seconds. See all these bridges, all these possibilities. The marvel of what these structures can do. And then I want to turn that visualization back to us. Within us, there are parts that need to be connected. We've learned about one part of us over these last few times together, these lower or more physical energy centers. We've learned about the one that is our root, the one that has our passion, our joy center right above it, the one that sits right there in your gut that helps you to feel strong and confident. Those energy centers are considered the physical parts of us. But shouldn't we try to connect all the parts of us together? What about the mental parts of us? The intuition, the discernment, the insight. What about the spiritual parts of us? The connection to source, to something bigger than we are. How do we make those parts come together and find connection? We do that with Anahata, the heart center, right in the middle of us. And just like those bridges that allow you to go across and to come back, Anahata does the same thing. It brings connection from the physical parts of you up into the mental, spiritual parts, and then it takes the spiritual, mental connections that you have and brings those things down through the heart to the physical parts of you. So just think back, the day that I taught you and we talked about this idea of your joy center right in the sacral area of your body. What if all of a sudden the mental parts of you, where your thoughts reside, this energy center way on up into your head, what if it could be connected to that center of passion and joy? So that the things you think about, the things that you engage in, are connected directly to the things for which you are so very passionate. That's what the bridge does. Your heart center provides access so that all the parts continue to flow up and down. And we'll talk at some point in the future about just that emotional center of what the heart represents, but today I want you just to see it as a bridge. When you stand on a yoga mat, it also serves as a bridge between the physical sensations that you feel through a physical practice and the mental, emotional, and spiritual connections that you find beyond just standing and balancing and folding. Your heart is the bridge. So what an important part of us that must be nurtured. The same way that if a bridge has been built over time and passage can no longer happen over it, engineers come in and shore it up. They do things to reinforce it, to make it stronger. We are meant to do the same thing for ourselves. And so I would invite you, if you feel comfortable, just bring your left hand and put it right there at your heart center. And then if you feel comfortable, cover it up with your right. And as you feel that physical sensation of what exists right there below the skin and the ribs and the muscle of the beating heart as we picture it, see a bridge. See connection. See something that puts two things together that otherwise would be separated. Wouldn't it be amazing if the things that you reflect on spiritually could be tied directly to the foundation of you, at the root of who you are? And wouldn't it be amazing if, as you seek strength from within the core of you, that strength could then inform your discernment and your wisdom and your insight? Where your hands are right now, resting in the center of your heart, that is the possibility. True, uninhibited, boundless possibility and connection. So just continue just to sit there again, just with your hands. If they're on your heart, just feel it. If not, just notice the rise and fall of your chest. And feel how the breath keeps that spot regulated and at ease. And then allow your hands just to come back and rest wherever you had them before. Still noticing the rise and the fall of your chest, the expansion of your ribs through the breath. And let's just sit here quietly for just the last couple minutes that we've got, and use the visualization of a bridge, one that has meaning for you, one that maybe you drove over in childhood. It was big and it was scary, and then you drove over it again as an adult, and all of a sudden you realize the marvel that it truly is. Maybe it's a bridge that you remember from a vacation that took you to some place that you remember so fondly. Maybe there's one that connects you to the people that you love, and it allows you to visit them, because otherwise you'd be separated. So as we sit together, let's make that our visualization to keep us here and now and grounded. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. Feel that expansion of your ribs. Feel the heart lift just a little bit. And then exhale, feel the release, the ease, the calm. Long, slow breath in. Full breath out. And as we prepare to close our time, keep that image of the bridge close to you. Look up images. See the way that bridges connect people and cultures and communities. How bridges provide passage, provide connections that would otherwise keep things separated. and begin to see that same connection going on right in the center of you. We'll continue talking about this in the days to come, but for right now, just see your heart as the connection between the physical part of you and the mental, spiritual part of you. And allow that connection to go up and down, back and forth in the days to come. And just notice how it changes your perspective. Namaste.